Today, I thought I'd show you how to quilt some simple sashing designs, and this is just a simple back and forth border that tends to be pretty easy for us because it's similar to the way we normally move fabric through the machine. You can work it up and down or side to side, and note here that I'm using the edge of my foot to keep my line or my quilting line width consistent as I go and make each row. So I'm watching the edge of my foot. I'm also watching the front and the back of my foot to make sure that I stay a consistent distance from the top and bottom of the border, and that really helps you keep from crossing over the border. If you try to touch the border each time, it's very likely that you cross over the area that you want to be quilting in, so it's easier to come close but not to the line. Here I've switched and I'm doing a ribbon design. And there are two things I'm watching here. One is as I come down and make this bottom loop and then the top loop, I feel almost as if I'm quilting around a dime or around a circle shape to keep those areas rounded. This is a little bit more difficult to master than the back and forth design, but again, I'm coming and approaching those quilting lines rather than stitching right on the edge of my area. It's always harder to hit a line than to just approach a line. Also, note that I'm watching as I come up here, I'm watching my previously stitched line and trying to keep that area consistent between my little circles at the top and bottom. So I'm watching as I come and almost coming and touching my previous line again, almost touching. And this is another design that I do quite frequently, and it is loops in a sashing area, and it works up really, really quickly. You can do it at a slant, like handwriting, lowercase l, lowercase e, lowercase l, lowercase e. If I had a thicker border area, like the border of the entire quilt instead of a sashing area, I might run two of these lines as a reflection of each other to fill that whole area. So now I'm going to switch and I'm going to do a fishbone design, and this has a loop at the bottom and then at the top, and then at a bottom and then at the top. And this also works up really quickly. This is one of my favorite designs because it fits into many different areas. You can fit it into diamonds, you can fit it into triangles, and it provides a lot of movement to the quilt, and it also gives you a density in quilting. So I'm just kind of loosely going back and forth as I work across the border. And you can do this with a lot of, you can try different spacing. So here I'm a little tighter. Then you can experiment with the size of your loops. They can be skinny. So here they're very skinny. It's going to create very dense quilting. So now I'm going to quilt them wider. And you can see this would work up really quickly across the sashing board area. Don't forget, don't try to hit the edge of your sashing. Instead, try to come close to the edge of your sashing. And the way I accomplish this is I come close to the edge of my sashing with my foot instead of with my actual needle.